Hello, Dr. Vikki Petersen here. I want to talk to you about the difference between allergies and COVID-19. It's spring, obviously, and a lot of people suffer from seasonal allergies. And unfortunately, a lot of the symptoms are similar, which on the good side of things, people get their seasonal allergies and they worry only to say, oh, it's just seasonal allergies because everything settles down pretty fast. But let's tease it apart because there are some key points that I really want to make. So number one, are you an allergy sufferer? There's always a first year. People can say, well, geez, I've never had these before and now I do. So it's not like you couldn't be suffering from seasonal allergies for the first time, but certainly a question to ask is, does spring typically bring upon these kind of symptoms, so you kind of know you're in that category? But let's go through the symptoms of both the coronavirus as well as allergies, because there is some crossover, and then make some distinctions of where there is not crossover. So coughing is certainly common in both conditions. The COVID-19, what's so aggressive about it is it can be very debilitating to the lungs if your immune system is not strong enough, and so the shortness of breath can get very severe, wheezing can get severe, and certainly a cough with allergies is common, but getting to that degree of severity is not. Sneezing can definitely occur in both conditions. Now, fever is definitely a distinguishing characteristic. With the virus, you get a fever, and obviously it can get quite high. With seasonal allergies, that's very uncommon. You don't typically have a fever at all. Headache, unfortunately, is common for both. With the fever, you get a headache, but you can get just a lot of congestion. If you're an allergy sufferer, you know how that is. You get all congested and your head just feels very, very heavy. So that is a common symptom. So far, we've got sort of severity of the lung symptoms and fever as more on the viral side of things. Getting back to the fever again, chills, sweats, severe body aches. Again, that's more with the viral. If you've had a bad flu, you know what that's like. And with the lack of fever with the allergies, again, that's not a symptom that you typically have to worry about. Difficulty breathing, shortness of breath. You can get so congested. I mean, I used to have seasonal allergies before I got healthier, and I would sneeze like 15 times in a row, and yes, I was short of breath. You can sneeze so many times and then kind of go like this because it basically run out of air. But we're not talking about that kind of shortness of breath. We're talking about a deep heaviness of the lungs and shortness of breath because of that. We talked about the body aches. Okay, so there are some, we've been learning about COVID-19 and realizing there are some digestive complaints or GI complaints that some people have suffered with, nausea, vomiting, and pain, digestive pain. So the nausea is something that is shared with seasonal allergies, and if you are a seasonal allergy sufferer, not everybody has this, but you can have enough mucus just going down the back of your throat that you start to feel a little nauseous after a while. And lastly, there's fatigue. So certainly with allergies, you can be tired because of all the congestion and maybe you're not sleeping well, but that deep, severe fatigue that comes with the virus and with the COVID-19, it's going to be more intense. So those are the symptoms, and as you can see, there's definitely some in common, but there's a lot that are not. The highlights being the fever, the chills, the sweats, the severe fatigue, body aches. Those are kind of the standouts that are different. Now, the next point I want to discuss is a really important one, which is that allergies can weaken your immune system. If you're a chronic allergy sufferer, perhaps you've had this experience where you've started with your allergies and then all of a sudden said, am I sick now? Do I now have a sinus infection? Do I have a cold? Do I have a flu? Because the allergies do weaken your immune system. And of course, right now, we don't need that. So we want to do the right things for our allergies versus the wrong things. And we don't want to ignore them. Say, oh, just take a bunch of antihistamines. That always works. And I know it's allergies and I don't have to fret about it. A couple of things I want to go over. So one is that antihistamine medication actually depresses your sleep cycle. So And this is not intuitive, because if you're, again, somebody who takes antihistamines, you go, it makes me so drowsy, that's what I hate about it. And it does make you drowsy, but it actually, by research, interferes with the deep restorative sleep, the REM sleep. And it also affects the brain and memory, because you're not getting that deep restorative sleep. So really not the time to take antihistamines, because your immune system reboots when you're in a deep restorative sleep. So taking something to kind of assuage your allergy symptoms, that's really going to deeply affect your sleep, which is when your immune system reboots, that's not the chance I would take right now. There are certainly natural things that you can take. Oh, I left it on my desk. Hold on, I'm going to reach over. Good. Okay. I brought a little show and tell of a supplement we use. So with what you want to do naturally, and these products work really well. We've worked with them for a very, very long time, but there's a type of cell called a mast cell, M-A-S-T, and that's what when it's destabilized, it releases all the histamine and you get all your nasty allergy symptoms. So you want what's called a mast cell stabilizer that's natural, so you don't have to mess up your sleep and weaken your immune system. This just happens to be one that we use here at the clinic, and really what's in it is key. This is a particular product that we have, but what I want to go over, what are these mast cell stabilizers, because they're very well known and they work very well. So there's a nutrient called quercetin, there's an herb called stinging nettle, which doesn't sound very nice, but it actually is very efficacious in stabilizing your mast cells. There's also bromelain, and there's something called NAC, N-acetylcysteine. And then there's vitamin C, our friend vitamin C. So vitamin C is a known mast cell stabilizer. Isn't it interesting how often we talk about vitamin C? So it's incredible for your natural killer cells. It boosts your immune system. It stabilizes your mast cells. It's antiviral. You should be taking vitamin C if we haven't gotten that message through to you. Absolutely. I've posted a lot of blogs on the website of late, and there's been a lot of videos as well, but I go into what's called bowel tolerance for vitamin C. So definitely look that over so you get an idea of how much C you actually need. There's a little test you can do. It's pretty easy to see. It's called a bowel tolerance test. So what do we want to do? We want to take more natural mast cell stabilizers versus the antihistamines, because of the sleep issue I mentioned, which is actually going to weaken your immune system. And we want to do all the lifestyle factors we've been talking about, getting enough sleep, getting enough water. Viruses definitely tend to dehydrate us. Americans are dehydrated anyway, so that can get really aggravated. Certainly getting rid of a lot of mucus if you're in the middle of an allergy season issue. You lose a lot of water that way. So like vitamin C, hydrate, 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 sleep, sleep, sleep. These are all amazing things that you should do to stabilize your immune system. And what else did I want to tell you? Yeah, so if you do all these things and you don't just go, oh, it's allergies, no big deal, I'll just do my usual, you don't want to allow that seasonal allergy to weaken your immune system and open you up as a recipient to this virus. So we want to do everything to boost the immune system. So yeah, it's an added challenge if you're a seasonal allergy sufferer, but it doesn't have to be difficult. There's the nutrients I just mentioned to you about. Now's the time to take really good care. You don't want to eat sugar. Repeat after me, no sugar. It weakens your immune system. It's not going to be helpful for anything. Mentally, it might feel a little helpful, but trust me, physically, as far as your immune system function is concerned, it's not. You want to eat real food and fresh food. And we're doing very well with food. Thankfully, we live in at least my area of the country, but what I'm hearing about food production is we're doing okay. We definitely went to the store, when was it, last Friday night, and the shelves were all full again. Different ebbs and flows of this. So just because if you go to the store and the shelves are empty, it doesn't mean don't go back. So our country is doing very, very well with keeping our shelves full, and you might need to get a little creative in what you're eating, but it's you want to eat as much fresh fruits and vegetables as you can. If you can't get them fresh, frozen is fine. A lot of great nutrients in frozen vegetables, frozen berries. So take advantage of that. Lemons, oranges, it is the season for them. Citrus is loaded with vitamin C, but I really do think you should supplement as well. So hopefully this helped as far as making that distinction between the allergy and the COVID-19, but also I really want you to take to heart the working hard to keep your immune system strong, especially if you're an allergy sufferer, but it's really true for all of us. So this is the time for extra care, not worry, just extra care, and getting your water, getting your exercise, getting your fresh, unprocessed food as much as is possible. If you want to listen to the news in the morning, do it in the morning, not before bed at night, so you can actually rest and relax and get a good night's sleep. And if you are a seasonal allergy sufferer, if you are somebody whose immune system is not as robust as you want it to be, really anything about your health that's not the way you want it to be, and you think, I'm home more, this is a great time to get healthy. It absolutely is. We are open here at Root Cause. We are an essential service, fortunately, for our community and the country, because we see people from all over the country. And if you're obviously from out of town, we can work with you remotely right now. And even if you're local, we can work with you remotely. So it really is a nice opportunity to take this extra time that some of us have and really put it toward our health and optimizing it. And I just want you to know we're here for you in that regard. So any questions, let me know as always. And if you enjoy this video, share it with others. I'll talk to you soon.